Hey folks, how you doing this afternoon? Jerry here. I'm having to redo this video again because I tried to upload it and somehow, even though that my recorder did it on the right way and it showed everything going the right way, for some reason YouTube uploaded it and it upside down. Isn't that amazing? And then they changed my YouTube channel around this evening. I'm getting me a drink here. They changed my YouTube channel around. And what they done, they ended up putting a beta camera on my YouTube camera, which is a 10-second camera called a beta camera. But Jerry is savvy. What I done was I'm burning my ordinary camera onto my to my YouTube and then downloading it. So I knew how to get around that because they've already did that to me one other time. Okay? So I'm redoing this whole video again. I don't care. If they've got the energy, folks, to try to stop me from putting this on there, I've got the energy to put it right back. So, you know, hold on there. I don't have much to work with, folks. I admit it. But in the process of doing this, let me have a little discussion with you here. Not only did they do that, I mean, it's ridiculous. They did that to me before. And every time they do it, it's when I'm on fire with these videos. And I've looked on the Monster Energy lineup that they advertise. If you're trying to expose this stuff for being demonic, like Monster Energy 666 and Monster Energy stands for this or that, my videos are nowhere to be found, folks. I went all the way through it. They won't show you this stuff. I got on there and a bunch of the witches that was making fun of the Monster Energy lady. I've issued a challenge to them live on YouTube about these Monster Energy drinks. They'll not respond. They'll not respond to me. There's no way. If they do, I'll answer the call. I promise you I will. They make fun of her and she's part of them, folks. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if she's not a witch herself. But they make her look ignorant. And then when they do that, why, you know, it's the devil playing the Hegelian dialectic, folks, playing both sides. You got one witch making the Christians look ignorant because she's trying to be a supposed Christian, and then you got a group of witches making fun of her, and it just puts Christianity down all the way around. Won't you guys go after a real Christian right here on this? And I'm not talking about one of the naive ones. I'm talking about the one who is well learned in your devices. Paul said, be knowledgeable in Satan's devices, lest he take advantage of us. And you know what, folks? Right here's one guy. Right here's one man that is knowledgeable in Satan's devices. And they know it too, folks. But anyway, let's get busy with this. This Irish blend is not actually an Irish blend at all. It's a Celtic blend. And I know some of you are going to say, well, Jerry, the Celtic people was right among the Irish and Scottish people. No, not necessarily. And if they were, it was a bad influence when they were. Now, I remember back when I was a little boy, my mother listening to Christmas music of the supposed dead Celtic language. And these Celtic people were supposed to have been genocided totally out. They were a beautiful people that was just genocided totally out, and there wasn't any of them left. They're completely killed out. They destroyed them and killed them. Then all of a sudden, 15 or 20 years later, here in the world that we live in today, or 20 plus years later, now all of a sudden they're the warring Viking kings of old. They even admit now they're the Vikings. What? They went from being loving, peaceful people to the top of the pyramid of the food chain? I tell you folks, we have had so many lies that has been told in our culture. It's not even funny. Just like St. Patrick, That's no saint of God, folks. That's a druid priest, sun worshiper. Okay? That's what St. Patrick is. Now, in me showing you the stuff that I'm going to show you about this Java Monster Irish blend, I want you to keep in mind that when we're talking about the beast system, every religion that's on this earth, all religions, are of the beast system. All religions are of Satan. The only thing that is not, folks, is Jesus Christ. Because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And no one coming to the Father except through him. He didn't say no one not coming to the Father except through him and the God Shiva and the God Buddha. And it don't work that way, folks. And let me tell you something. If you don't believe what I'm telling you, that Jesus Christ is the life, the truth, and the way, and no one coming to the Father but him, that he is the only way you have. If you're a Christian and you don't believe that, you have issues. I'm telling you straight up. Best thing for you to do is just turn this video off, because you and me are not going to get along. That's just the type of Christian that I am, folks. I tell it like it is. Jesus Christ is the only way. So now with that in mind, this is the Celtic blend. This is not the Irish blend, and they're not Anglo-Saxons, okay? Don't ever say that the Celtics are Anglo-Saxons. They're Vikings. And no, they weren't genocided out. They just didn't want you looking for them back in those days. Now they don't care, now that it's end times. But anyway, let's move on here. The Java. Now remember what I told you about all these religions interblending in, and they do. You'll see a lot of them interblend. The Java is actually the god Shiva of the Hindu gods. And this Java is actually like an act of the barley gods of the worshiping of that god. It's like a cloth dedication of herbs of the earth, such as ginger and holy basil leaves, and yes, coffee. It's literally worshiping a demon and paying homage to that demon, Shiva, of Hindu. And actually this bilva leaf, which is the main feature of this dedication, is actually pictured right here. There's that bilva leaf. So we've got that out of the way. Okay? Now, let's move on here. I'm going to show you every bit of this and break it down for you. And you're going to like this, folks. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to save the best for last on this. That's going to be what I'm going to do. This Isabel bird that's right here. You can see its head. See it? The Isabel bird. That is the bird that is used to celebrate and worship the young teenage Wiccan witches of the Celtics. And this Wiccan witchcraft, this is what this whole can is all about, folks. This whole can is all Wiccan witchcraft. Mother Goddess worship is what it is. This yin that you see, that is right here, that is a Buddhist symbol for yin-yang, and that's actually the black part of it a little bit. And let me show you very briefly. I'm going to show you what the yin-yang looks like. You've seen it, I know. You know the yin-yang. It goes like on, actually if you've been in karate before or something like Shaolin karate or something, it's on those karate patches and stuff. For those of you who've been in karate before, so there's a spirit behind that. Now, this figure that you see that is in the shape of an 8 right here, this is a fancy figure in Viking culture and Viking mythology of the Ouroboros. And actually that's the snake's head going into the figure 8 of the Ouroboros. I could show you these things, folks, if I had another device. Maybe I eventually will here. But that's what that is. Now you're going to also see the symbology of the dragon. See the toes right there and see the toenails? This is the dragon's foot. Uh, there's also a dragon's foot. And like I said, I'm going to save the best for last on this. Just remember, this is the yin. Alright, now, we see a lot of the 3-leaf clovers, and you know, of course you can throw the 4-leaf clover in on that as well. And the 4-leaf clover, or the 3-leaf clover, is actually a talisman. It's actually used in Wiccan witchcraft for good luck. That's what that's used for, is good luck. Now, let's read on the back here on this, and then I'm going to save the best of this whole thing for last, and we're going to do a really hardcore talk about it, because I really haven't showed you what the foundation of this whole Wiccan witchcraft thing is, but I'm going to save that for the last. We're going to read on the back here. No foam, extra hot, half calf, no whip, says Latte. Enough of the coffee BS already. Java Monster Irish Blend. Well, Celtic blend, really. Premium coffee and cream flavor, supercharged with Monster Energy Blend. Coffee done with Monster, way wide open with a take no prisoners attitude. Yeah, you people, you tribe of Dan right there of the Ashkenazis, you didn't take no prisoners back in the 1930s and 40s, that's for sure. Yeah, you didn't take any prisoners, you killed them all, that's for sure. You're telling the truth on that one. And the experience and know-how to back it up. Irish Blend is a taste straight from the old sod. Yeah, it's straight from the old sod, all right. All the herbs and everything else that you Wiccan witches use. It sure is. But anyway, we have saved, with this whole entire can, we have saved the best for last. We've covered the Ouroboros, we've covered the clover, we've covered the Isabel bird, but there is one main ingredient here that is the basis for this whole entire thing that we have not covered. Now, I want you to keep in mind now that naturally this is the cross with Jesus' cloak across it. I have told you that before, and this is Hebrew for 666. Everybody knows that, but I thought I would say it real quick. The main basis for this entire discussion is this symbol right here called the triquetra. And this triquetra is a triangular form composed of 3 interlacing or overlapping vesica Pisces. And that vesica Pisces, guys, that is basically symbols of the womb of a woman, intertwining 3. And it's Mother Goddess worship is what it is, folks. That's the whole basis for this Wiccan witchcraft. Ash tree worshipers, folks. The worship of the ash tree, like the Ashkenaz, yeah. Bewitched. Ash tree worship. They worship the horn god Cernunnos quite a bit too. I could show you all these things if I had a device, folks. I have known this stuff. I can tear this stuff all to pieces all day long, because this is the origin of the tribe of Dan, is what this is. And actually, that V that you see at the bottom there, you see how that's accented? That's accented the way that it is because of the Vikings. Maybe because of the Knights Templars too, because they use the V as well. But getting back to the triquetra, these Wiccans use this, the Celtics of old, and the Druid sun god worshippers. Worshippers of Stonehenge, and worshippers of like the Georgia Guidestones, folks. That's all intertwined in with that, okay? And it's Mother Goddess worship is what it is. You can see this symbol on a book of witchcraft called The Dark Shadows. And actually, my good friend Chaplain Bob actually did a special on something related to this. When they first come out with the New International Version Bible, they had that symbol put on the side of it, or not on the side, excuse me, right on the front of it. And Bob exposed that Bible as being printed by the same people that prints the Satanic Bible. So we see what they were up to. But of course in the book of Daniel, what does it say? That Satan will look to change times and law in these last times. And that's what he's trying to do, folks. And Bob exposed it. And I'm glad he did. That doesn't belong on the front of God's book. That is a symbol of Wicca. The dark shadows. Mother goddess worship. Okay? Now that triquetra, it's a trinity knot is what it is. Also, actually, that's the basis of even the knot that's used to hang people from a noose, whether you guys realize it or not. And if you take a look, you can see a lot of the Trinity knot interwoven symbology that goes into this can. See, even down here at the bottom. See all this interlacing right here? This is all Trinity knot symbology. Every bit of it is. It's all interlaced with that Wiccan symbol. Sure is, guys. And I wanted to also tell you this. Gosh, what was I going to say? Yeah. These love spells. Which, let's get back to the spells of that Trinity knot, the triquetra of Mother Goddess worship. It's a lot in not only prosperity spells and luck spells, but it's also in love spells. And if you notice, not only is the three-leaf clover of luck spells the three-leaf clover, but if you notice also in the symbology you have here, you've also got the heart love symbology going on here too. See the hearts? That's hearts, folks. But then in others you don't. You know, in that one you do not see. Not so much, but in that one you can kind of see the hearts, all three of them. And that's not by accident. It's all about a love spell, all about peace and love in these last days and bringing together the one world order. And just the Christians are going to be hateful because we don't go along with all this love and peace. Yeah. See, Satan presents himself as an angel of light, folks. It's all about peace and love. Now, I'm going to tell you someplace that you can see this triquetra. And it's a very monumental, underrated thing that went on in history here a while back. Jared Kushner, the dark web Zionist, ended up taking all of your records, your medical records, and he ended up taking the Ascension Company, ASCENSION, that keeps all the electronic medical records. And he took all those electronic medical records and he burned and integrated every bit of that in with social media and Google, folks. It was right on TV what he was doing. It was right on the internet. And that Ascension Company that I'm telling you about that keeps those electronic medical records, this symbol of triquetra Wiccan witchcraft was right on the side of the building. It's their symbol that they use. And folks, listen, they can say what they want to about that symbol. That symbol right there is satanic. It's Wiccan witchcraft. Period. I don't care who says what. Some people are going to come up and say, oh, that stands for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. No, it doesn't. Don't be fooled, folks. Remember, we're in these last days. And Wiccan witchcraft comes along as a very subtle thing, folks. It comes along as something that's very, very subtle. That's not anything, harsh like black magic or anything. And I'm going to tell you something about this triquetra. This triquetra, folks, is probably the most underrated witchcraft symbol that there is in the craft. because it comes about as like a white witch thing, just a Mother Earth worship thing, you know, that's very calm and very subtle, and that's how Satan comes. He shows himself as an angel of light. And actually, some real serious biblical scholars that are really awake actually end up saying this is the mark of the beast. That's what I've heard, folks. And it very well could be. Because in these days, we're going to be deceived. I mean, you can get on the internet and you can see the pentagram is how bad it is. You can see the hexagram, how bad it is. But you know, they don't say much about this symbol. And I get the feeling that this symbol is one of the most occultic, underrated symbols that there are. I really do. I think that there is a lot more to it, and we don't give it enough credit for being as dark and as bad as it is. I think it's seriously probably the most underrated symbol in witchcraft they are. It's a lot worse than what you think. To end this, I'm going to tell you something else that I don't have no proof of, but I'm just going to say this because it just comes to my mind whenever that I break this stuff down. This gold with this black on it right here kind of reminds me of alchemy. Taking base metals like gold and maybe even certain, or like lead, and taking certain types of stuff like coal and things like that and turning it into gold. That's kind of what that reminds me of. And you may say, well, Jerry, lead is gray. Lead is not black. Well, when it's not hit air and it's been under the ground for a long time, when it first comes out, it's actually black, like that. So that kind of reminds me of the Kabbalah tree of alchemy, the scientific art of turning base metals into gold, alchemical formulas using Kabbalistic magic. That's what that reminds me of, the black tab with the gold on top. So I broke all this down, folks, every bit of it. The Trinity knot, the triquetra, every bit of it. It's all Wiccan witchcraft. And the fact that it's green shows the Mother Earth worship of all these herbs and everything else. It's just, it's what it is, folks. This is all Celtic, Viking stuff, is what this is. It's ancient knowledge, folks. But I'm going to tell you something. You're like, Jerry, how in the world do you know all this? I'm going to tell you something, folks. You can believe me or not believe me. But God is going to give Brother Jerry the knowledge, folks. He's going to give Brother Jerry the knowledge to know these and to know this stuff. And I take full advantage of it too. I expose this stuff for what it's worth in my Father Jesus Christ's name. Give all the praise to Him for this knowledge, folks, because it's all coming out in these last days, and it's going to keep coming out. One way or another, they're going to shut me down. They know that I'm doing this. Who else do you know on the internet, folks, is breaking this stuff down like this? There's nobody else doing it. And my videos are not being shown, so it proves as a testament against those who are running YouTube. It does. I'm letting the fact that my videos are so good and not being shown, I'm letting it prove His testimony against them. That's what the Lord told me to do. Call them out for it. This woman that says that she's the Monster Energy drink woman and she gets 1 million views, guys, and all she's saying is this means that women that are MILF drinks this. How stupid is that, guys? Compare that to my videos. What am I going to get for this? 15 views? Probably. Probably 15 views, and if the truth is known, probably 12 or 13 out of the 15 is probably a robot. I know what's going on with this YouTube thing, folks. Okay, if you're seeing this video, you're very lucky. But thank you for watching my video. Have a good afternoon.